Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, I'm a geek, you're watching Kevin the Geek, and today I am checking out The Real Hustle. So, Dad's in Oz, back on my responding to your comments video from comments left in November of last year. He first mentioned a show that I should check out called Hustle. And I do still intend on doing that at some point. In the Still Game Live at the Hydro special that I did last month in May, there was a reference to a show called The Real Hustle, and Bobby recommended that I check this one out. And apparently this one was basically spawned from the original show Hustle. So the original show Hustle apparently is more of a drama based around hustling and cons and stuff like that, whereas The Real Hustle is literally people doing real life hustles and, as I understand it, kind of explaining kind of how they're done. But there was a few people that suggested that this is something I should maybe check out, so I thought, hey, let's do it for the month of June. So let's check out The Real Hustle. Alex, confidence trickster. Jess, sexy swindler. Paul, scam artist. The Real Hustle. Looks like a GTA style lettering. This is
Paul, Jess, and Alex. They're three real hustlers, and they're all experts on cons and scams. Alex is a skilled cheat and sleight of hand specialist who can steal from right under a victim's nose.
Okay.
Paul is an expert on gambling scams, frequently working for Las Vegas casinos as a consultant.
Ah.
Jess looks sweet and innocent but loves to deceive, especially the opposite sex.
Okay.
For this programme, the three of them have been travelling the UK to show our hidden cameras some of the most popular scams being performed illegally by con gangs all over Britain today.
Ah.
And then they'll teach us the secrets behind the cons to make sure you never get cheated again.
Interesting.
This is The Real Hustle.
Okay, let's check it out.
Coming up, learn how the hustlers pinch a £600 necklace from a high street jeweller's, rent out a flat that doesn't belong to them, and show you how to avoid your PC being attacked by the keylogger scam. Remember, all the people in this show have been hustled for real, and after they were given their money back, they agreed the footage could be shown, so that you could avoid being ripped off by the same scams.
Aha, okay.
Alex has got a game for you to play at home.
Right.
All you have to do is watch the disc with the white spot.
Okay. No. It's the one in the middle.
Where is it? In the middle?
Oh.
No, you've just been caught by one of the oldest tricks in the book.
Okay.
The Monty.
The Monty scam dates back hundreds of years from the Mississippi riverboats of the Old West to the modern-day streets of New York. And it's an excellent example of a scam that has genuinely stood the test of time.
Okay.
The big secret of the Monty scam is that it's 10% sleight of hand and 90% teamwork.
Right, okay. Although
When people see a Monty game
there
being played, they usually don't realise that it's actually a gang that is doing the scam. It's not just the man, the operator, throwing the discs.
Okay.
The Monty game is designed to separate a fool from his money.
Well, I hopefully won't be a fool.
Our three hustlers have come to the seaside to perform the Monty scam for our concealed cameras and to teach us the tricks behind this classic con. Even though the Monty is illegal, it is still played by hustlers all over the UK today.
So this show, just from the initial point, it feels a little bit like the old Masked Magician kind of show, you know, where he would perform a magic trick and then show how it was actually performed.
Our team have engaged the services of some local hustlers to help them out.
Oh, that's in Brighton.
They'll all be looking for a wealthy
that here.
target, known as the Mark, to play the game.
There you go.
This passerby seems interested.
Okay.
He's their man. He's the Mark.
Right.
Unknown to him, everyone else playing the game is in on it.
pointing wins you nothing. You want to bet that one?
Yeah.
Because you pointed at this one.
No.
You want that one? Ladies first. Here we go.
Right, hang on, let them.
It looks to our mark like Jess has just won some money, but remember, she's in on it like everybody else.
Nice and simple. 1, 2, 3.
Jess is using her feminine charms to win over the mark and convince him to bet with her money.
No.
Middle.
That one.
Loser. You got some money? Anyone else got some money?
Ah, right.
You got to stay. Yeah. Your bet.
Great, our mark is going to play with Jess's money.
Okay, so no win, no lose.
2, 3. That's all I'm doing.
That one there.
Nice and simple. Yeah, easy. Hang on. Is she helping you out? Because I said no one bets from you.
With Jess's help, the mark is now a winner.
Shall I give it straight to your girlfriend? Seriously?
Next bet. Go on.
You got some money on you. If you're going to stay, you're going to have to pay. You got some money?
Yeah, come on.
Get your money out. 50. I'll take a 50.
Alex and Jess have hooked him in, and now he's going to play with his own money, £50.
Ready? You ready? I'm going to do it nice and slow.
Right, let's see if I can
Keep
pause
your eye on
and
the
do it.
middle one, yeah?
Right, so in theory, that one there is the one he's just put down.
That's all you got to keep your eye on. That one there. Because that one, that's a loser,
So-
right?
So
This
again,
one,
that should be the
a
one
loser,
that's
right?
already down. So the
Now
one,
it's time for Paul's part
that
in
should
the
be
scam.
that one.
While Alex turns away to cough, Paul switches 2 of the discs, apparently moving the
Oh,
spotted disc back to the middle. Our mark thinks Paul is trying to trick Alex, but in fact, it's all part of the bigger scam to convince the mark to bet. And it works perfectly.
I'll take it 50.
Everybody else joins in and bets as well.
Right.
So our mark won't feel so bad.
oh, excuse me. Sorry about that.
When he loses.
Half of you are right, okay? But all of you are wrong.
Ah,
Thank you.
and off he goes.
Just saw people winning money, you just kind of think, oh, well, I'll have a piece of that. It's just kind
Yeah.
of thought, it's definitely the one in the middle, it had to be. I thought this guy's giving it away or something. It was like, it's so easy. You can't win at this game. You know, the guy's an expert. They're all experts, just stay away. I was blagged, big time.
Oh, excuse me. So I'm suffering a little bit from hay fever today.
We each have different roles, and they're all very different. I'm the operator. I handle the discs, and ultimately I'm the one who's going to have to do the sleight of hand moment. Jessie is used as a decoy, and as a roper, she gets the mark in, she gets him to the right position, which is right at the front of your cue. What she does, which is very important in the very beginning, is she gives the mark a taste, a feel of what it's like to win money. So she hands the money over for him to bet it for her. Paul is our general lookout man. He's also responsible for the switch. The mark now thinks that, wow, I've beaten him. I've beaten the Monty man. I can put my money down.
So, what is the secret sleight of hand move behind the Monty
Right,
scam?
here we go.
Watch closely as Alex throws down the disc with the spot. It looks like it goes on the table, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But watch again in slow motion, and you can see that in actual fact, he doesn't throw the spotted disc.
Oh, he throws the top
he
one.
throws the top disc instead.
Yeah.
Leaving the spotted disc in his hand. Watch
Right.
again as he does the same with the 3 discs. Again, the top disc goes down on the table.
Right.
But now he repeats the move to hide the spotted disc whilst apparently showing 2 blank discs. So it's not where you think it is, in the middle. It's actually on the left. Our mark didn't stand a chance.
This is more about deceiving people and getting them to give up property, money or possessions by trick, not by force. It does still occur, and there's still people out there that would fall for that, go up close in a small crowd and fall prey to, one, the trick itself, but more importantly, pickpockets working around them.
Look,
Yeah.
if you walk up to a Monty game on the street, you are walking into a den of thieves. Monty is just a way of mugging somebody without letting them know that they got mugged.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, they'll mug you.
Our sexy swindler Jess has a taste for fine jewellery. But like all hustlers, she's not keen to pay for her expensive tastes. If she really was dishonest, This is how she could have got her hands on that necklace for absolutely nothing, with the help of accomplices Alex and Paul. This is the jewellery shop scam.
This one should be interesting.
In the jewellery shop scam, we all have different parts to play. They're quite important parts. Myself and Paul play police officers, and Jessica plays a customer who enters the shop looking to buy a piece of jewellery.
Okay.
Sort of a double bluff, because halfway through the hit, the police come in, played by Alex and Paul, and the shop staff think that the police have intercepted a thief, played by myself. But in actual fact, the con's still in full swing.
Ah. So I'm guessing she'll talk to them, try and sweet talk them, all that kind of stuff. Try and do a snatch. It'd be like they come in, they're pretending, oh, we saw it through the window, we see that she's playing a trick, well, we're going to arrest her, we need to keep this as evidence, that kind of thing. That would be what I'm thinking at this point.
Hustlers have selected a small high street jewellers as the perfect place to stage this scam. Unbeknown to the shop staff, our hidden cameras have been placed inside to cover the following action. Jess enters the shop first, looking well dressed and respectable.
I'm looking for a necklace.
She approaches the counter and talks to the staff about wanting to buy a new necklace.
Silver. Definitely.
Alex comes into the shop shortly after. He is apparently just another browsing shopper. And where's the third member of our team? Paul is outside ready to step in on cue.
Got a nice one here.
After some browsing, they show Jess a necklace that takes her fancy.
That's the sort of length.
Yeah, quite nice.
How much is this one?
It's quite expensive, actually. 624.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
The necklace is worth around £600, which is a suitable bit of swag for this scam. Jess seems happy with the choice and says she'll buy it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 600. 1, 2, 3, 4.
As she finishes counting the notes, Alex swoops in.
Okay, stop there, police.
What?
Welcome to the police. Tracy, I'm placing you under arrest for deception and fraud. And leave that money on the counter. Please let my colleague in, please.
Flashing a fake police badge, he arrests Jess for passing counterfeit money. Will the shopkeepers buy his act?
We've been following her all day. There's been counterfeit cash. She's been passing it off for jewellers. Yeah, go ahead.
The shocked shopkeepers have bought his line and the hook and sinker too. The hustlers insist the cash is forged and must be bagged as evidence. In fact, it's the gang's own hustle bankroll and it's actually not forged at all.
We'll go in for evidence for her. I'm afraid that's part of the evidence as well now. You will get it back, obviously.
And there it is. Alex the fake copper has convinced the shopkeeper to bag up this £600 necklace as well.
I could ask you just to pop that in here. Thank you.
It's all going to plan. With the necklace bagged, the scam is complete. Our team of hustlers have cleverly choreographed a theft worth £600 from right under their noses.
I wonder after this show kind of went out, whether places like this then went on further training to go, right, so should that con happen, this is the security procedure you have to do to make sure that it is legitimately the police and not still a part of a con.
Bitch, you could have cost me my job, you know that?
Yeah. Oh, did she swear at her?
Our team of hustlers have cleverly choreographed a theft worth £600 from right under their noses.
Bitch, you could have cost me my job, you
She
know
did swear.
The hustlers leave the shop claiming to be off to the police station.
Okay. I'll be back in an hour. I'm going to take a full statement from you, because obviously it'll go down as evidence for her, yeah?
Had this been a real scam, it would have been the last time the shopkeepers ever saw their expensive necklace. And just how convinced was the shopkeeper by our fake coppers?
The lady we dealt with was so shocked that that happened to her, and in a way she was so relieved that we had prevented Jessie from virtually robbing the store, that she completely put aside all her fears that we might not be genuine police officers.
So you're saying to me, what if all three of them were in on that? They'd have had me. They'd have had me then.
The best way people can guard against this scam is to always make sure people are who they say they are. If a police officer is genuine, then he'd be willing to show you identification, phone numbers that you can ring to confirm. They will prove who they say they are.
I think a proposition bet.
A proposition bet. Everybody knows a proposition bet. It's basically, I can bet you I can do something. Will you bet against me that I can or cannot do this?
Right.
You're talking about something that sounds absolutely impossible to do. So most people will tell you, well, there's no way that can be done. But if you turn to them and say, yes, there is a way that can be done, by this time, they're so curious just to see how this is going to work that usually they'll just pay a £5 just to see what happens.
A proposition bet is a great way to hustle a few free drinks and a meal.
And a few free drinks is exactly what Jess is after. And she spotted her Mark sitting on his own at the bar.
Thank you.
The Mark doesn't realise our secret cameras are covering his every move.
Everyone always looks at me weird whenever I order a pint. They expect me to order a glass of wine or something, probably, don't you?
That's good.
Yeah, be flirty and charming
I'm
with him.
Jessica, what's your name? Andy.
Andy, yeah.
Andy.
He's thinking I'm in here.
Everyone always thinks I'm so weird for drinking pints, but I can down a pint before a guy can down a shot. And everyone always laughs at me, but I really, really can.
Walking down a shot, you could down a pint.
Why are you laughing?
That's rubbish, because you can.
I can.
Oh,
You don't think I can?
Of course you can't.
You don't think I
it's the
can?
intrigue, yeah.
I couldn't do that with a.
Okay.
I would love you
Okay.
to.
I'll tell you what, we'll get 3 pints in. I'll get you 3 shots in. I really can, and I bet I can have my 3 pints before you can have your 3 shots.
Alright, fine.
I really can. Okay, is there a bar lady?
Alright.
Excuse me.
Oh, is this? I wonder if this is one of those where you have to put like a glass over the top
Okay.
of one of them.
Well, if you really don't think I can do it, I'll tell you what, we'll make it more interesting. Have you got any money on you? You've got some money. How much money have you got on you?
20, 30, what, 10, 10?
Right, we got a tenner.
Yeah.
Okay, get your tenner out.
You're
You
serious,
see, you
right?
don't think I can do this.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a tenner. Put your money where your mouth is. There you go. You don't think I can do it, but you're a tenner that I can. Okay. Right. When I say go, you start. You don't touch my glasses, though. I don't touch your glasses. It's the only rule. When I say go, we start. Let me just finish this.
Oh yeah, she's going to put that over.
You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. Now you see, I said I can't touch your glasses, you can't touch my glasses. So, thank you very much. Andy's paying for the drinks. Thank you very much. It's lovely to meet you.
Lovely, yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks.
And so the Mark's been conned. From the first moment he took on the mad bet. The free drinks were always heading the hustler's way. Cheers. Con artists are constantly finding new ways to swindle us out of our money. But in an age of technology, their methods are growing increasingly complex and clever. British businesses are experiencing a growing wave of so-called cybercrime, both from insiders and organised high-tech crime gangs.
In April 2005, a gang targeted a Japanese bank in London. They were trying to steal £220 million by infiltrating the bank dressed as cleaning staff and using computer bugging devices to get information out of the bank that they could then make use of.
Oh.
A simple device called a keylogger can be planted inside any keyboard. That keylogger is basically just a very small device that records every single keystroke that happens on that keyboard. Every time you press a button, that gets recorded.
This actually communicates the information either directly by somebody putting a device on and removing it secretly, or by having the information transmitted via cellular or Bluetooth signals to another source. If there are any holes in the system, hustlers will find it and they'll use it.
Today, the hustlers are going to show how the keylogger scam can be used by criminals in order to warn you of its dangers. The hustlers make their way to an office in the city, which they have pinpointed for their hit. This is a team scam. First, Jess must access the office by dressing as a member of the cleaning staff,
She's just going to walk in.
whilst Alex and Paul move off to set up base around the corner. Now inside, Jess poses as a cleaner, tidying the office before the start of the working day. But amongst her cloths and polish, she is carrying the Hustler's rigged keyboard, complete with onboard wireless keylogger.
Ah.
Jess scouts the office for a matching keyboard. Now a match has been found, she swaps the original for the keyboard fitted with the device.
Okay. Plugs it in.
With the new keyboard in place, her job is done.
Can she just leave, or does she have to continue cleaning to avoid suspicion?
Back in the van, the Hustlers wait for the Mark to log on to her office computer before making their next move. Our secret cameras are in place in the office and the Mark has arrived at her desk. With the keylogger fully operational, Alex makes a call to her phone posing as a representative from her bank.
Oh.
Hello, Kevin speaking.
Oh, hi there. Is that...
It is now his aim to get the Mark to log on to her internet bank using the keylogged PC so that they are able to steal all her details and gain access for themselves.
Ah.
Paul is picking up the information on his laptop.
We're doing a quick security call to most of our customers. Is it all right to take 2 minutes up of your time?
Sure, no problem.
Without revealing your password, could you please give me the first and the third letters of your password?
No, I'd rather not do that.
However, the Mark is a savvy lady.
Yes.
She is questioning Alex. Does she think this is a scam?
Sorry, what do you want to know this for?
It's a security call that we're putting to our customers.
Unluckily for her, it is a scam, but she can't see how it's working. Alex doesn't need her to tell him the information over the phone. Everything he needs to know, she will be sending, obliviously, through the keyboard.
And all we're doing is just a security precaution, letting customers know to go online and check their accounts for any irregular activity. And we're also advising that customers change their passwords on their online accounts.
Okay, fine, I'll do that later.
However uncertain our Mark is, she is taking the measure of checking her internet bank anyway. After all, what harm can it do?
A
No,
lot.
completely unwittingly, she really is playing into the Hustler's hands.
That looks like a password to me.
Great. The Mark has typed in all her account details, changed her password, and now the Hustlers have all this information. The keylogger has certainly done its trick, and our team now have the key to her bank account.
Ah.
Obviously, our Hustlers aren't really going to raid her account, but others haven't fared so well.
I didn't really know anything until the event was really over, because the bank phoned me and told me that someone had been making transfers from the account. In monetary sums, I had the first two payments of just about £4,000 each that were taking out. You feel that if your money's in the bank, it's safe. And clearly mine wasn't very safe.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're getting a lot more brazen these days. I mean, I'm sure you've probably seen videos where, you know, you get these like cold call scammers from like places like India and places like that, where they'll do a similar kind of thing, but they'll do it like remotely. So whereas that one is a very elaborate one, where you have to physically change an actual keyboard. You know, those ones these days, you know, you get these ones where they'll ring up and they'll say, oh, I'm from the FBI, you've got to transfer me so many £1,000. Oh, you've accidentally sent me the wrong thing, and now you need to send it back to us, or whatever. And again, they'll get them to like give remote access to them. So they're very similar kind of ones, just done with different techniques.
If your front doorbell goes and you go to answer it and the person standing there says, "Hello, I'm from your bank. Can you please give me all your security information and your passwords?" You just wouldn't do it.
Nah.
So if somebody phones you up or sends you an email asking for it, you shouldn't do it in that situation either. Find out what their head office number is, their switchboard number is through either your bank statement or card statement, and phone them back so that you know that the person you're talking to is genuinely from your bank.
The art of the pickpocket. Oh.
Well, pickpocketing has been around as long as pockets. It's one of the...
It's all based on body language, body movement, and there's something quite balletic, it's like a dance.
If you see a real expert at work, it's almost like watching magic, but it is theft, and if you've ever lost your wallet to pickpocket, you'll know that as cool as it might be, it's a pretty nasty thing to happen to you.
Yeah.
This next pickpocket scam has been reported to be on the rise in major UK cities. Watch out for it. It's the mustard dip.
The mustard dip.
Keep an eye
Okay.
on this guy in the black coat.
Oh.
Oh, excuse me, mate. You seem to have stuff on the back of your
I've got some
thing just there.
tissues if you...
Ah.
But I don't want to make it worse. It might be better if you just take your jacket
Oh,
off.
don't worry. I'll just take it in there.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
It's all down the back. Just
it's
there.
all...
I've got some more
Just there.
tissues you can... Sorry.
It's all right.
Okay.
So simple.
If you've got your money in your jacket pocket, for instance, and you haven't made a provision as to put it anywhere else, and you've got £2,000, for instance, in your jacket pocket, and someone sprays something on your back, you look at them, you put your hand on your wallet, and you keep walking.
Yeah.
You don't stop for them.
Keep it simple.
The flat rental scam is an excellent example of a group of hustlers selling something that just doesn't belong to them. It looks completely legitimate. You dress like an estate agent, you walk the walk, you talk the talk, everything has to look good.
I do have a personal acquaintance of mine that has performed the rental scam quite successfully. I think on one occasion he managed to sell a house 3 times within a week. The house didn't belong to him, it belonged to a friend of his. Did go to jail for it.
Ooh.
It's one thing you've got to remember.
Con
Okay.
artists can obtain access to empty flats through dubious friends who work for estate agents by acting as freelance flat sitters or just good old-fashioned breaking and entering. Our hustlers are going to try and rent out this flat which they have been advertising on the internet. They're about to meet a wannabe tenant. Can they
Okay.
convince her to put down a deposit? Alex is playing the part of a letting agent and Jess is pretending to be someone who has just viewed the property.
Ah.
Even before Alex meets the mark, the deception has already begun.
Okay, good. Excuse me for one moment. Amber?
Yes.
You're Amber. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Roy. And Candice. Nice to meet you. I'm Roy. You just give me 1 second. If you want to give me a call, I'll give you a card.
Makes him look legit.
You think
Okay.
it was? Lovely to meet you.
Good to meet
anyway.
you too.
You take care.
Hi. Come with me. Hello.
As Jess leaves, her part in the scam already over, Alex leads the potential tenants into the flat.
So come in. Okay, if you'd like to have a look at the, it's the bedroom. You can see it's quite...
See, rental definitely
One
works
size.
more though
There we go.
than selling it,
Little
I would
screen.
think.
Have a look at it.
It's a bit easier to do.
We've got fridge,
Surely, anyway.
freezer.
So how much, what is it a week?
It is $7.50 a month.
The tenant seems interested, but they need to gently put on the pressure. Time for a phone call from Paul, pretending to be another keen tenant.
It
Ah.
doesn't include the, excuse me, it doesn't also include the council tax, but that's £61 a month, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Excuse me, I must take this. Hello?
Hi, is that Roy?
Roy, it's Paul Wilson. I saw the flat earlier.
Oh, yes, you did. If you are looking at a deposit, it will have to be today.
Could you hold the flat for me?
I can't hold it now. I've got people here now, and obviously they have first choice. But if you give me a call, it's going to be, I'm going to be finished in about 5-10 minutes, by about 8 o'clock. I'll give you a call straight back. Okay, thanks.
Right. The fear of missing out.
You like it?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Big tactic.
Have you got anything you put down today?
I do have a little bit of cash on me and I have a checkbook.
Okay. How much cash have you got with you?
£100, would that be okay?
We could do £100 cash and £150 check. That'd be fine.
No,
Yeah?
that's all right with me.
Yep. So have you got the cash?
Great, they've convinced her. She's going for it, putting down a deposit on a flat that the guys don't even own.
Okay, I'll give you something to write on. And here's a pen.
The cheque will now be cashed quickly at a high street pawnbroker before she realises it's a scam.
Right, okay.
That's fantastic.
So, obviously with that, they'll lose a little bit of money because of the exchange thing. I think that you usually lose something like 10-15% is what it is at one of those kind of places. That's how they make their money with that. But
For a while, but we got it.
they got it.
The things to look out for so that you don't fall for the scam is background checks on the estate agent. Go to their offices. It's very difficult for hustlers to set up a whole office just for the rental scam. Another thing, if there's any suspicion that you have about something not quite sounding right, don't hand over any money, no matter how desperate you are to put down a deposit. Just be aware of these things and you'll be safe.
And so our hustlers have finished their travels around the UK for this week. They played Monty at the seaside, ripped off a jeweller for £600, hacked a computer and rented out a flat that wasn't even theirs. Don't worry though, all the people they scammed got their money back. Just remember the rule of the real hustle. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
You know what? That was really, really good. It was both, I think, entertaining, but also informative. I really like things like that. You know, something like that has a nice balance to it. And apparently this did really well. It had a lot of series to it. I mean, I worked for a bookmaker's many years ago. We're talking about 10 years ago now. I was there for about 2 years, and I did get conned one evening. And the thing is, we're working in the bookies. You do get taught. You know, we had like this whole page on our screens that was very well known and notable scammers. And there'd be a variety of ones. You would have the slow bets, you'd have the ambiguous bets, you'd have reach over bets. There's so many different ones. Some of them kind of similar to each other with different names to them. But the majority of these gangs, and they usually were, they were usually at least in a group of, you know, 2, 3, 4 of them at the very least. Most of these had been running and doing scams in bookies for a good sort of 30, 40 years. And I did get caught out by one of the ones I was in there, and I had this whole disciplinary procedure afterwards. I'd been there at that point maybe 3 months, I would say. And in that one single night, I basically lost the company effectively at about £2,000 thereabouts. And they very nearly fired me. They didn't, which I'm very glad of. But there was always this thing in my head. I was like, the thing is, because these gangs are so successful and they've been doing it for so many years without a lot of the times actually being caught and going to jail and stuff like that, they were on a bit of a losing battle, the higher up people. You know, if you sack everyone, whoever gets scammed by these people, you ain't going to have any staff at the end of the day. It's that simple and straightforward, because these guys are truly professionals. And it was a case that, you know, these guys, a lot of the time, and girls, guys and girls, not being sexist, but there was often a lot of times where they would scope out. So they'd go to my local town, and, you know, of my brand of shops, we had about 4 or 5 of our shops, they would often go around and maybe go in there, and they'd do their scouting, and often it would be very tiny little bets of like 10, 20 to 50 kind of p bets. Often stuff that if they did lose, it wasn't a major thing for them. But they would use it as scouting, and they would go around, and often for a couple of hours every day, different times of the day. And when I did look back, I did vaguely remember seeing them other times in our week, and they'd clearly noticed that I was new. And they sensed that I was potentially an easy target or a weak target, and they chose a time when it was basically me running the shop and one other guy. He was quite young as well, so we were both potentially very easily amenable, and they'd come in and they basically did ambiguous bets. It was I think it was the darts that was on. So they were literally coming into my shop, they were going back to the pub that was literally like next door. They'd go in, they'd come back and go, oh yeah, I placed a bet on so-and-so to win this leg or whatever. Yeah, I won. And would do all this kind of stuff. And they were so friendly, so charming, you know, and they were giving tips as well. That's another thing that they do to get you on their side in a situation like this. They were like, they would have a winning of like £400, you know, £400 or £500, something like that, and they'd have it a few times throughout the night over what, maybe 2-3 hours, and they would give, you know, 20 quid tip here, 30 quid, 50 quid, that kind of stuff to kind of the pair of us. These are the stuff I should have spotted, but I didn't. And I was so annoyed that I fell for it. While I was waiting for my disciplinary, there was a different person who came in, tried to do a slow bet. And a slow bet is effectively... So usually it would tend to happen with greyhound racing because they are quite quick. So that they'll be, you know, when the trucks go off, they literally run around the track. So it could be over in about a minute. They will often wait until like they hear like the bell of the race to signal they're literally about to open the traps, let the dogs out to run their race. And then they would quickly rush up and go, oh, quick, I want to place this bet, or whatever it was. Say it was like £5 on dog number 1, for example. They would write it in such a way that it could be either £5 or £500. Usually actually was £1. It's like £1 or £100. That's typically where they would normally do it, because £500, that's a bit more suspicious. But yeah, they would literally do it and go £1 or £100. And they're rushing through. So you're hearing the bell. You're like, oh, I need to get this on in time for it to count. So I put the slip through. And then this is where they try and distract you. They'll go, oh, can you give me odds on tonight's match? Can you tell me what the odds are for Ronaldo to score first, or something like that? And then what they're doing is they're trying to distract you from looking at that, so that they can kind of keep an eye on the race. If the dog wins, they'll go, oh yeah, it was a £100 bet, here's £100. Can I have my winnings, please? It'll be, you know, a couple £100. If it was a loser, go, oh yeah, there's a dot there, it's £1. So there you go, here's my £1. Unfortunately, it's a loser. Oh well, never mind. But I spotted that one. That's the first one I had in my head. So the moment he said, can I see the odds? I was like, no, I need you to tell me, is this £1 or is this £100? I need you to tell me which one it is, because the race is going on. I need to know now. He kept trying to distract me. I was like, right, I'm not honouring the bet, and I cancelled it. So that happened, like I said, whilst I was waiting for my disciplinary for that first incident. And what annoyed me is that my bosses were very much a case of like, you know, you got scammed twice. I was like, well, no, I didn't. I just got scammed once, which I've admitted to. I messed up. I absolutely fucked up. And I let them con me. This one, I spotted it was a con. I made sure that I didn't fall for the slow part of it. And I said to him, which one is it? But they were like, well, yeah, you put it into system. I was like, yeah, I cancelled it. So it never registered as an official bet. But yeah, it was still in the system. So yes, it was an official bet. So I was like, bugger you. So yeah, like I said, In reality, they were like, you know, we've fired people for less than this. We're keeping you on because we like you and you're new and you're inexperienced. But I was like, but that's what you've got to take into account. Like, these are professionals. They are absolute professionals. And they have got away with it for years. And they will continue to get away with it for years. So unless you allow people the opportunity to learn from mistakes, you ain't having any staff. So there you go. That's my experience of hustling. Let me know if you've experienced anything like that in your time. Do drop your comments down below. Do please subscribe if you are new. But that is going to do it for today's episode. I thank you very much for watching me if you have stuck with me to this point. But for now, my name is Kevin. I am a geek, and you've been watching Kevin the Geek. Goodbye.